Welcome back today. Friends, sometimes history hides its greatest treasures in the simplest things. Sometimes, the most extraordinary stories are tucked into something so ordinary that we pass it by without a second thought. And today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1962 Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it's a tiny piece of metal, just 5 cents, something you might find in your pocket, in a jar, or at the bottom of a drawer. But if you look closer, this coin isn't ordinary. It's a window into history, a testament to artistry, human error, and the quiet stories of a nation. Before we dive in, if you're fascinated by coins, history, and hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment below, because what you're about to see is not just a coin, it's a story waiting to be uncovered. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, a tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. By 1962, this coin had already etched itself into the fabric of everyday American life. But that year, amid the calm appearance of daily circulation, something remarkable was quietly happening. The obverse, the front of the coin, presents Jefferson in profile, composed, intelligent, commanding respect, yet approachable. Every curve of his hair, every shadow across his cheek, was meticulously sculpted by Felix Schlag, whose design would become iconic. On the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's home, elegant, detailed, a symbol of his intellect, vision, and enduring legacy. But as ordinary as this may seem, the 1962 Jefferson nickel holds secrets that collectors and historians cherish to this day. Millions of these coins were minted, but here's the twist: not all were created perfectly. And it's these tiny differences, slight misalignments, faint doubling of the date, mint mark irregularities, subtle die cracks, that transformed a simple nickel into a collectible treasure. To a casual eye, these details are invisible. To a numismatist, they're the heartbeat of history. Picture holding one in your hand. To the everyday person, it's just 5 cents. But to a collector, a coin with even a minor minting error from 1962 could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It's an ordinary coin made extraordinary by the tiniest flaw, a whisper of imperfection that tells a story decades old. Let's pause and consider the world in 1962. The Cold War gripped the globe, the Cuban Missile Crisis loomed, and the United States was navigating a landscape of tension and transition. Amid this, the mint was quietly producing nickels in Philadelphia and Denver, carefully striking Jefferson's image into millions of metal discs. And yet, despite precision machinery and rigorous processes, mistakes slipped through. Slightly off-center strikes, minor die imperfections, and misaligned mint marks, these were the moments of human error that would later make certain coins priceless. The mint marks themselves, Philadelphia coins without a mark, Denver coins with a subtle D, tell part of the story. Collectors obsess over these, because a small mark, its location or shape, can dramatically influence a coin's value. And the thrill of finding a 1962 D in near-perfect condition is something every numismatist dreams about. Condition matters too. Every coin is graded, from good to mint state. A nickel in MS65 or higher condition, virtually flawless, is rare and coveted. Even the faintest wear on Jefferson's hair or the columns of Monticello can swing its value dramatically. Die cracks, minute scratches, slight imperfections, what may seem insignificant are actually signs of history, echoes of the minting process over half a century ago. But here's where it gets really fascinating. The 1962 Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a story of a nation, a moment in time. Every scratch, every tiny imperfection, connects us to 1962 America. Imagine the coin passing through countless hands, across diners, grocery stores, laundromats. Every exchange is a silent chapter in the story of everyday life. When collectors study these coins, they aren't looking at metal, they're reading history, decoding decades of circulation and craftsmanship. And some of these coins carry extraordinary errors, the kind that can make a collector's heart race. Doubled dies, repunched mint marks, coins struck on the wrong planchet, these anomalies are treasures. Picture discovering a misstrike that survived decades of handling, tucked away unnoticed, only to be found by someone who understands its true value. That coin is no longer just a nickel, it's a legend. Collectors spend years examining rolls of nickels, inspecting each coin with magnification, searching for that one subtle clue, a doubling, a misaligned mark, a faint detail that separates the ordinary from the rare. It's a world of patience, expertise, and passion. And that is why the 1962 Jefferson Nickel remains one of the most sought-after coins, decades after it first left the mint. If you've ever held a coin and wondered about its story, leave a comment below. Share what you've discovered. The ordinary nickel in your pocket may very well be hiding a rare treasure. And if you're enjoying this exploration, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because stories like this, hidden, dramatic, and timeless, are exactly what we uncover. Consider the artistry. Felix Schlag's Jefferson is not merely a portrait, it's a narrative frozen in metal. Monticello is not just a building, it is a testament to Jefferson's intellect, his vision, his influence on the American identity. The interplay of light and shadow on these designs gives life to the coin, making it not just currency but miniature artwork. Every time a collector holds a 1962 nickel, they are touching history. They're holding a piece of 1962 America, a tangible connection to the Cold War era, to Jefferson's ideals, to the lives of everyday Americans who used this coin for decades. It's not metal, it's memory, it's art, it's legacy. And the thrill of errors cannot be overstated. Some nickels exhibit doubled dies, slight die cracks, or other imperfections, anomalies that occurred during production and survived decades. These imperfections elevate value and fascination alike. A coin that once paid for a loaf of bread might now sell for hundreds of dollars, simply because history left a mark on it. So, the next time you hold a 1962 Jefferson nickel, look closer. Examine the details. Study Jefferson's face, the lines of Monticello, the mint mark. Because in that tiny coin lies a story of artistry, craftsmanship, history, and mystery. And remember, ordinary is rare, and rare is priceless.
To AK Old Coins YouTube channel, where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Sparkles. Today, you're going to discover 5 quarter dollars that could shock you right out of your seat. Some of these coins, if sitting unnoticed in your collection or hiding quietly in your pocket change, could be worth over $300,000. That's not a typo. And no, you don't need to be a millionaire to own one. You might already have it and not even know. We're about to uncover rare designs, mysterious mint errors, and stories that tie American history right into the palm of your hand. And trust me, every single coin we're about to explore hides a surprise, a secret, that could leave you completely speechless. Now, before we jump into the first quarter, just pause for a second. Take a look at your change jar. Open that dresser drawer. Think about that old coffee can sitting in the garage. Because by the end of this video, you'll be racing, literally racing, to check if your coin matches one of these rare, mind-blowing finds. Now, I'm ready when you are. Go ahead, send me the first coin's picture or details, and I'll start crafting its story with all the drama, value, and excitement packed in. So, take a closer look at this coin. At first glance, it looks like any regular quarter. But don't be fooled. What you're looking at is a 1965 Washington quarter. And it just might be one of the most shocking secrets in American coinage history. Here's why. 1965 was a critical year for U.S. coin production. The country was facing a massive coin shortage. Silver prices were skyrocketing, and the U.S. Mint had to make a fast, bold, irreversible decision. They stopped making quarters out of 90% silver and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. In other words, silver was gone. Officially. But here's the twist. Not all 1965 quarters followed the rules. Some were accidentally, or perhaps mysteriously, struck on leftover 1964 silver blanks. These silver planchet 1965 quarters are unbelievably rare. And if yours happens to be one of them, it could be worth a heart-stopping $350,000 or more to the right collector. Let that sink in. You could be holding a coin that looks completely ordinary. Sounds like pocket change. But in reality, it's rarer than gold. Now, let's take a moment to look at the specific features of this coin right here. The date, clear, 1965. The classic profile of George Washington still stands proud on the obverse, with liberty across the top, and in God we trust, etched near the jawline. The condition, circulated, yes, but still showing strong detail in the hair and cheek. That tells us it's been through the world, but it still has plenty of its story to tell. But here's where things get really interesting. Collectors check these 1965 quarters very carefully for weight. A regular clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams. But if you put it on a scale, and it reads around 6.25 grams, you just hit the jackpot. Some of these silver planchet 1965 quarters have no visible difference. But under a trained eye, and with a quick weight test, you'll uncover a coin that isn't even supposed to exist. And guess what? Only a tiny handful have ever been authenticated. One was auctioned by Heritage Auctions and reached an eye-watering $360,000 in near-uncirculated condition. That's nearly the price of a brand new house. Even coins in slightly circulated shape, like the one we're looking at here, could easily fetch $20,000 to $45,000, depending on who's bidding. Now think about this. Most Americans never even check. These rare errors slipped through the cracks during one of the most turbulent minting transitions in U.S. history. And they're still out there, hidden in drawers, jars, or collections like yours. So here's what to do next. If you've got a 1965 quarter, put it on a jewelry scale. If it's closer to 6.25 grams, and it has that silver ring, when you drop it on a table, don't spend it. Don't even breathe on it. Get it authenticated immediately. Because what seems like a dull, worn coin might just be the last great silver secret of American currency.
आवाने किस पड़ता अपने ये इतिहास की कभी और
बड़ी मुश्किल जान चुकी है
क्या है भाई
बड़ी देर पिछे पे भाईया घाटा वो कहना सी कि साथ तू मैनू दस दे भला चलो कह अल्लाह की कसम और यार हाँ की कह दो नंबर दे बोला नंबर दे आओ